Hi. Recently, in my media analysis and criticism class, we watched 2 episodes of the show The In-Betweeners. We watched the UK pilot and the US pilot, and we had a discussion about it, and a lot of the male students were raising their hands, talking about which one was more relatable. So I raised my hand, and I said, as a woman, I find neither of these shows relatable because the only girls in the show are treated as trophies. Okay, so the TA recorded that in the Facebook group for the class, and now that's when it began. I was told I shouldn't name names for privacy reasons, but there was a certain male student who began commenting on this post, and I don't know a lot about him, but I'll tell you what I do know. In his Facebook profile picture, he's wearing a cowboy hat, so I can only assume that he hopped in a time machine, traveled to the present, enrolled in Ohio University's Media Arts and Studies program, taught himself how to use computers, and then just began wreaking havoc on Facebook. So one of the first things that he said, I commented that the women were treated as trophies, and he said, your argument is very tired, a very dead horse. And I said, okay, it's been done before, yes, but it continues to be a problem, so we should continue to talk about it. And then he quietly faded into the abyss, and then all his stuff came out and had a delightful conversation about women's representation in media. Just kidding. If you want to see the full transcript, check out womenarePizza.tumblr.com, but I'll give you some of the highlights. It was so ridiculous. He said to me, it's like going to China and griping about all the rights. Which I didn't really understand how those things were related, but then I realized I might as well be in China complaining about rights because he wasn't even listening to me. At one point he said, I ignored the text wall, Katie. And then he continued to argue with me without reading my argument. I don't understand how you can counter something you haven't even read. I read all of his argument, even though it was littered with grammar and spelling mistakes. He didn't even capitalize the C in China, so I guess he was talking about dinnerware. I felt like I was arguing with a dinner plate about rights. The simile still works. He went on to say, it's not a new nor revolutionary position to be a woman pissed off about women's lot in media. And then he came up with his new revolutionary position, which is that us tall people have it a lot worse. You shorties have no idea how bad it is. You know who has it even worse? Tall women. Oh my gosh, sorry. And it went on like that for a while. He actually said, you're pigeonholing me into the oppressive, chauvinistic regime, holding down your glass ceiling with the weight of our phalluses. Gross. Gross. Just imagine a glass ceiling covered in plastic. No. In that same comment, he called me histrionic. Just so we're all clear, histrionic personality disorder is a mental health condition characterized by someone who's overly emotional or dramatic to draw attention to themselves. Which I read as burn the witch. Okay, I get it. I've got this birthmark on my nose that kind of looks like a wart, and I have a maniacal laugh, and my feet wouldn't look too out of place curled up under a house. But wanting to talk about women's representation in media doesn't make me a witch. I mean, histrionic. When you tell me that I'm crazy for wanting women to be treated as people, it makes me feel like I'm crazy. And let me tell you, I say a thing or two about being crazy. I watch Adventure Time like it's my religion. I wear insanely bright clothes. I like to play Sudoku on my Zune. I have 2 Zunes. Okay. My favorite Beatle is Ringo, and I want women to be treated as people. Isn't that insane? I mean, lock me up, please, because I'd rather be isolated than live in a world where I'm called crazy for wanting to be treated as a person. But I know that's ridiculous, because while some men may share that opinion, I think it's ridiculous to generalize one gender's entire way of thinking. So I just want to say, I'm not the only person who wants to make this argument. Ladies, you want to join me? Thank you. Okay, I would just like to remind those of you who know and inform those of you who don't seem to understand, women are people. We're just as varied and diverse as men. We each have our own unique life experiences and individual perspectives. And I don't think women's worth should be based on their physical appearance, and it's ridiculous to perpetuate that myth in media. So, frankly, I'm sick of women being treated as second-class citizens, and you want melodrama, you want me to get histrionic, I'm just getting started. Thank you.
Ha ha ha!